was grabbing a snack. These matches, I mean, it's not the longest, right? When you think about it, those were just 3 games there in that first one, but they can be long, right? That's a lot of games, especially Armageddon, which is what their last, not the one we just saw, but their previous match in the event went all the way to Armageddon. 5 games. It's quite a lot of chess, especially against the exact same player.
Yeah, it's about an hour non-stop. I was going to ask, do you think playing on a tablet influences the blunders whatsoever? And the only reason I say that is you're so used to playing on a computer. I don't know if you've played other tournaments on a tablet, but even though it's still a 2D board, maybe it's a smaller screen, maybe the angle of looking down on a tablet is still different, right? I'm not used to looking down on a tablet, moving my finger. I'm just trying to think about, like, if I was a player, if there was a longer break and I'm in Magnus's corner, do you think about, I mean, he got to the finals playing on a tablet, but still, it's just like, sometimes you're like, how could I possibly make that kind of blunder? And you're like, what can I change? Because that's not me. But he's still on the tablet. Game 1, second match, grand finals, Magnus Carlsen, Jan-Krzysztof Duda, and you have more of a classical structure here compared to the other openings, right? Magnus feels like the approach has changed. He was playing e4, playing some sidelines, or last game was just first move e3. This is a more standard position, although not necessarily one he always chooses, where you have the IQP is white.
Yeah, I think it's almost like the meme where all of a sudden Magnus is sitting up in his chair. He's focused. He's alert. He's ready to actually play now. Not to say that he wasn't trying in any of those games. Those were legit misses, but he can't experiment as much, right? It's not the time for e4 knight a3 and e3 on move 1. Although now that I think about it, the position he got after e3 was great. So maybe he's not going to question the result because the process was good, but nevertheless, he is playing something much more standard here.
It's something much more standard, but it does force Magnus to commit to an attack. Generally speaking, structurally, that IQP isn't a big advantage. It can give you an initiative, but in an endgame, some aspects of the game that Magnus likes to play, not so good. That's something that Black can target. And we see Queen d3, threatening mate, g6 played right away. It's a position that Duda should be quite familiar with. So in terms of Magnus playing against the opponent, trying to play positions you don't know so much, even though they're not theoretical, this really is a different approach. And I'm not sure I like it that much when I think of his strengths. I mean, you can play any position, but Duda, very comfortable here, playing all the right moves. And in a couple moments, we'll have to ask, how does Magnus continue the attack, continue the pressure on Black?
In these isolated pawn positions, usually what happens is the more pieces that get traded, the worse it is for the player with the isolated pawn. Of course, it does depend which pieces we're talking about. And not every piece trade is a good one. Perhaps. compared to its counterpart on h6. Meanwhile, the white king, absolutely fine. You're mentioning rook b1, you could jump in rook b6, and if the bishop goes back to a8, I mean, there's cases where if you're just playing a move like queen takes a6, I mean, you can play this in so many different styles. I think looking at the bishop on h6, immediately my attention is drawn to the king side, but just goes to show how good the position is. An endgame will be good. You can take the a pawn, you can play for the dark squares. If the knight moves now, you might be looking at ideas like rook takes c8 and queen e8, so you have to be careful of your back rank now, as well as the dark squares.
Yeah, that's like an example of the back rank. Queen e3, it's a nice move. I think Magnus is trying to play against this knight. It takes away knight e7, knight f5, thinking about ways that black can migrate. Black needs to migrate pieces over the king side. This move like f6, it might look like it's weakening, but it does give the king a little bit of breathing room, and it takes away some of those back rank mating ideas that you alluded to.
And I think that the king f7 move is necessary because I was immediately looking at a move like knight h4, and there's almost no way to defend that pawn. So king f7 will come into effect, and this rook b1 move, question mark, I'm just going to say, that feels harsh.
No,
Unless there's a win here for black, that's a bit absurd. It looks like a great move. I assume rook b6 is the intention, but I will say queen d3, putting pressure on a6 and g6 feels good. And the fact of the matter is we were on d3 before, so it feels like the exact same move, rook b1, but now we've done it maybe 2 moves later, so black's position perhaps can deal with it a bit better.
Yeah, queen d3 looks good attacking both of them, but yeah, previously it was a lot stronger because knight e7, knight f5 is coming in. It's still, no matter what happens, the reason we're saying it's harsh to say it's a bad move for Magnus is his position is good. The bishop on e8 is simply not in the game. All of white's pieces are generally quite good. Bishop f4, come on, what are you looking at here? Bishop f4, and that's just a blunder from Jan-Krzysztof Duda.
Pressure, right?
It's just an unpleasant position. I mean,
pressure led to Magnus making mistakes in the first games. Duda is now experiencing it, and this is effectively impossible to come back from. And Magnus knows this is over because he's not just winning the material, he's got the same exact threats that he had previously. It's not like he had to give up a pawn or give up his, one of his better pieces. No, all of his pieces are great, and this is just going to be 100% over. The same attack, but now up material.
Yeah, even if black gives up material for the queen, white still has attacking chances. I'm just going to show a line. Rook takes b6, bishop takes queen, rook takes queen, queen check, king here. I can take the bishop, but I can also just play h6 check, queen f8, pick up the rook. You don't even have a good way of giving back the material. In terms of conversion, this is actually very elementary.
It was bishop f4, and it's not that Duda played rook b8 and it was a horrible blunder because if he had played something else, he would have had a chance.